We don't want that. Here we are. Hi. Thanks so much for joining us. It is the end of August in 2024. Today, we're telling you I just showed you. There you go. The 5 real things you must know about moving to Reno, Nevada. We'll get to that right now. Isn't it lovely? I'm Dave Johnson. As I said, my wife couldn't join us today. She's out doing crazy things around town, but here she is. There you go. But it's just me flying solo today. And not only are we going to tell you the 5 things the real things you need to know about living in Reno, Nevada, but also we're going to go around town. I'll tell you about some cool things coming up in the next few days, actually, because it's, believe it or not, Labor Day weekend. But first, let's get to these. The 5 real things you must know about moving to Reno, Nevada. And I'm just going to start with something boring and data-driven, but it is so important and such a huge factor in your maybe considering moving to Reno, and that is this. Right up there. Home prices. And as you can see, this is a 5-year look, and this is only Reno, Nevada, by the way. This does not include Sparks, which is a suburb of the Reno area. It does not include Lake Tahoe, something to know, because when you include Lake Tahoe, obviously the prices go way up. But the median home sale price here is $569,000 as of July 2024. That is relatively expensive when you look at other cities of a similar size to us. Matter of fact, I'll do that in a future video. I'll compare several cities that are about the same population to Reno, Nevada, and you'll be shocked by some of those numbers. So our home prices are relatively high. The reason they're high is for many years, we've had Californians coming across the border to get away from their state and their issues. And obviously, if you're coming from the Bay Area and you've owned a home for a few years, you're going to have a ton of equity, and it's way more expensive there than it is here. Well, that has driven our prices up over time as those Californians move here. I personally love the Californians here, but that is one negative factor of that when it comes to our home prices. So something to be aware of when it comes to home prices. 569,000, and like you saw just 5 years ago, it was under 400,000. So we have shot up. Many cities have shot up. Totally understand that, but just something to consider if you are potentially moving here. Another thing to consider, I remember this. I vividly remember his name was PK. Came into our office and he said he wants to live near luxury shopping. I was like, have you tried Vegas? We don't really have luxury shopping. We have some nice shopping areas. I'm not saying that. I love where I live, but we just don't have luxury shopping. We don't have Forum Shops shopping. We don't have some of the beautiful boutiques that Las Vegas and other areas have. It's just not the thing. So luxury dining, yes, you can find luxury dining for sure. Many options there. Not a ton, but many, I would say. But luxury shopping, not really. So something to keep in mind. And number 3 on the list of the 5 is our dry climate. And when I say dry climate, it's not necessarily this one. That's Burning Man, by the way. That's a video from Burning Man. Not my thing, but we do have dry climate, so something to keep in mind. Winter and summer, it can be a factor, but the dry climate a lot of people don't like it. I love it because I came from the Midwest and it was humid and gross. During the summer, you take a shower and you are just still sweaty. You're like, blah. Here, you don't have that. You can put out, a towel to dry. It's dry in about 10 minutes, and it could have been sopping wet. So we definitely have a dry, high desert climate. Some people love it. Some people hate it. My mom is a good example of who complains about it every time she visits. She's like, oh, it's so dry. It's just messes with my skin. I'm like, put on lotion, mom. It's not that big a deal. Okay. But it's not for her. Number 4 on the list, growth issues. We have a lot of infrastructure issues because we are a rapidly growing city. And that means we're not quite up to where we need to be in infrastructure, like with some roads, some highways, certainly sewer, and some of those things you don't really want to think about. Those issues are real, and they're working on them, but they got a long way to go. So the Spaghetti Bowl is the major interchange where all of our traffic goes crazy. I should pull up a video of that, but it's our major interchange, and they've done construction on it. They're going to continue to have to update that. So something to keep in mind are the growth issues. But again, a lot of Californians moving here, it takes them 30 minutes to go a mile here, much easier to get around. But if you've lived here a while, it's like, wow, this seems to be so much more difficult than it was just 5 years ago. Still, overall, you can get across town in about 15 minutes almost always. So it's not terrible, but it is changing, and that's something to keep in mind. Number 5 on the list of things to know, the real things to know about moving to Reno, Nevada. And I'm going to try to be politically correct here. And that is a wide variety of lifestyles, we'll say. And I don't mean that negatively, because some people love to have 10 acres and a shed and do work on cars or whatever, and they're in certain areas around town, more on the outskirts, obviously, if you're going to have that much land. But it is all pretty compact, so we get a wide variety. So it's important to, if you want to come here and move here, it's important to hire me, really, hire a great realtor who can point you in the right direction for what you like. Do you like, everybody in your neighborhood to have the trash cans out at a certain time and everybody's yard mowed? Great. I've got some amazing communities with HOAs that can take care of that. And some of them don't even allow street parking at night and those kind of things. And if that sounds terrible, certainly many other options, and more land and more space and less regulation. So we really have all wide variety of things to consider there. So that's pretty much all I'll say about that. So those are the 5 things. Now we're going to go around town and take a look at what is going on around Reno this Labor Day weekend. And we've got a lot going on because, as you saw moments ago, I'll pull up the picture. Oh, Burning Man. There it is. There's a look at the traffic. It's a dusty mess, but people love it. But yeah, Burning Man's going on now until Labor Day, and it is craziness. But it is kind of one of those once in a lifetime things you got to check out. Dusty RVs, dusty bikes, and dusty skin, and a big old Burning Man. But again, that's going on now through Labor Day weekend. And then another big fun event going on. This one is in Sparks, Nevada. It is the Rib Cook-Off. Best in the West Rib Cook-Off. Oh, it is tasty. It is good stuff, and you can go check it out all this weekend. It actually starts Wednesday, which is today, and goes through Monday. And I will give you a little bit of a hint. If you want a great deal on some ribs, go Monday afternoon. That is when they're shutting stuff down. These vendors don't want to take it with them. Most of the vendors offer half-price ribs from what they've been charging from today until midday Monday, really. But Monday afternoon, great deal, a great time to go check it out as they are packing up. So there you go. Those are the 5 real things you need to know about moving to Reno, Nevada. Hopefully that helped. Have a great week, and hopefully you have a great Labor Day weekend as well. And we'll see you later here on Living in Reno.